Hey, have you ever been running and your chest started hurting, or you were walking upstairs and your chest started hurting, or you bent down to pick up something off the ground and your chest started hurting? Well, that happened to me a few times and I got really, really concerned like, what is wrong with me? So if you're wondering why that happens to you, watch this video. Let's
If you can get through
go.
that, you can get through anything, okay? And at that moment, I knew my life had changed forever. Hello, how you doing? Yes. Can we all just stand up really quick because you've been sitting for a minute? Can we all stand up, move our legs around? I am Tina, otherwise...
Meet Tina, stars Tina Wilson, a beacon of hope and transformation for women over 40. As a licensed life and health coach, Tina specializes in empowering those who have faced life's toughest challenges.
The edge of their seat. So when someone says, Tina, how did you do? I'm going to say, I had it at the edge of their seat.
Drawing from her personal triumphs over tragedy, Tina guides women on a transformative journey. Her unique approach is grounded in the 5 pillars of transformation: mindset, heart set, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. Tina's mind, body, and soul awakening program isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Through her online fitness boutique studio, she merges physical well-being with emotional growth. As an international motivational speaker, Tina's voice resonates across continents. She inspires and educates through her podcast, her dynamic presence on platforms like Clubhouse and Toastmasters International, and her compelling storytelling. Celebrating her latest achievement, the publication of her first book, No More Traumedy, Tina continues to leave a lasting mark in the art of transformation.
I said I need to make a book for anyone who's had some type of trauma or tragedy because there's no playlist. People don't like to talk about it. Remember, I was with my coach and I'm like, well, this person's got a cool thing. They do motivation. They do finances. I talk about traumedies. That's not cute. He's like, Tina, you make traumedies look good. Yeah.
Tina, stars Tina Wilson, transforming lives by overcoming one traumedy at a time.
I remember when I first started my fitness journey. I was at a gym and there was this lady in the corner and she was making shakes after everyone worked out. So I was like, I'm going to get one of those things. So I got a NutriBullet and I started putting everything in the NutriBullet. I mean, I was so obsessed. I even put a sweet potato in it. I know, crazy. It tasted horrible. I would not suggest anyone do that. When I do something, I get so laser beam focused. I just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. But when it came to my health and wellness, I just wanted to learn more. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be stronger. So I started watching different things. And I don't know if anyone here has ever watched the movie What the Health. Have you ever watched that? And it was talking about not eating meat at all. Now, I always wanted to be a vegan. It was something I wanted so badly, but I loved meat. Good morning, mommy. And my auntie Donna, she was pescatarian, which meant she only ate fish. And I remember we were in Georgia. It was 4th of July weekend in Georgia for the Peachtree race. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. But before I did that, I did it in little stages because it's very hard to just change overnight, right? So first I started by stop eating pork. And that wasn't too hard for me because I really didn't eat pork except for bacon. So then I started getting beef bacon. If you've ever had beef bacon, ooh, papi chulo, it is so good. I should probably get some now that I think about it. Anyway, I got rid of the pork and I started eating beef bacon. And then I was like, okay, I got rid of the beef. I stopped eating red meat. And then I went into chicken and turkey and shrimp and all that sort of stuff. And let's just fast forward. I finally got to the point when I saw this movie, I was like, okay, no more meat for me. So I stopped eating meat completely. And my daughter joined me on this journey. And I have to be honest, when I first started, I was a really bad vegan. Like we would go to Taco Bell and just get like vegetarian wrap, with just like beans and cheese. And it was just like, ugh. And I was getting super, super fit, super thin, all that great stuff. And let's fast forward 10 years later, I had just finished the Paris full marathon. A marathon is really long. I believe it's 26.2 miles, if I'm correct. And I After I did the marathon, I'm so happy. I have my medal. So I'm like, yay, I'm super fit. I'm super cool. And then I remember every time I would do any type of aerobic exercise or any type of fast movement, my chest would start to hurt. If I did jumping jacks after like 20, 30 seconds, like that is how much out of breath I was. If I went to up a flight of stairs, I'm at the top, like, what's wrong with me? Teaching classes, I'm like, okay, something is wrong. And I remember it so clearly because I was 49, the same age my father passed away in his sleep from a massive heart attack. He was 49. I'm like, okay, Tina, you're 49. Your chest hurts when you go upstairs. Your chest hurts when you bend down and pick stuff up too much. Like I was concerned. So I went to the doctor. And I'm not really a doctor person because I never get sick. So I went to the doctor and they do all my whatever, whatever. And I remember that he's like, oh, you look good. I'm like, my chest, like I can't breathe. So he did all these tests on me. He put all these things on me for EKG testing, right? And he says, okay, you're going to get on the treadmill and I want you to get, I think he said your heart rate to 120. I was like, oh no, that's not happening. I'm going to die. Like I get to like 80 and I'm out of breath, 90, I'm dying. He's like, nope, you got to do this. It's part of the chest. So we had me on the treadmill and I did it. I was like, okay. And then he put a heart rate monitor on me. I had to wear it for 2 weeks so they can monitor how my heart was. And then I go there 2 weeks later and I'm there and he's sitting there and it's this Caucasian overweight doctor sitting there. And he asks me, what do I do? And I said, well, I teach fitness classes. That's what I do. I'm exercising all the time, doing spin classes, body pump, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And he's like, well, sweetheart. Well, he didn't say sweetheart. He said, your heart, your lungs, all of your organs are wonderful. Everything is great. I said, so why does it hurt when I work out? Like when I move my body for 30 seconds, why does it hurt? He said, well, you have bad blood. Like, what do you mean I have bad blood? He says, well, because you haven't been eating meat, your hemoglobin levels are too low. I think like the normal rate was 12 and I was at like a 6. And my blood type is negative. Oh, and my particular type of blood needs protein, needs red meat, needs a lot of good protein. And I wasn't doing that for 10 years. So my blood was really, really bad. Today's tip is all about the importance of having protein in your diet. And as you know, or if you don't know, I'm a life and health coach. That person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing, starting with your fitness. The foundation is your fitness. And this 15 days of elevation, we're on day 15, as you can see, is all inspired by my book. And you can click that link right there. The book is called No More Traumedy. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this happens, life changing experiences occur, and everybody goes through a traumedy. After I wrote that book, I was inspired to write one for children, No More Traumedy for Kids, and you can get this as well. And today we're talking about triggers when it affects your eating, right? Because it affects me, but protein is a thing. So I wanted to read from the book right here, Shaping Your Mind, How Trauma and Tragedy Affect Developing Brains, because depending on how your brain is working and thinking, it's going to affect how you eat. Did you know that a human brain is not considered to be fully developed until at least a person is mid 20s? Therefore, when it comes to children and when far from being, it is still far from being fully developed. The brain is shaped largely by experiences and constantly adapted to changing environments. When a child experiences trauma, their brain, which is still in the developmental stages, is impacted with long lasting effects. Understanding the impact of trauma on the brain and pathway to healing is essential for caregivers. I'm going to drop down. The brain holds secrets and powers beyond measure. Think of it as a universe it's unto itself, composed of distinct regions and networks, each playing a crucial role in shaping who you are and how we experience life. To start to understand it, one must embark on a voyage through territories that are both familiar and some that have never been touched before. So I'm sharing this because when it comes to eating, you have to realize your why, right? Going back to your childhood, what you may have gone through as a child when it comes to eating, right? I remember I hated liver, but I hear it's like really good for you, right? My aunt, I remember she would make the liver look so good. She would make it look like steak, and I'd be like, hey. And I eat it like, "Oh, this is horrible." We have to get our protein. By the way, we have an accountability meeting tonight for our group. We have an online and in-person fitness community. We have fitness classes. And if you're in the Tampa area, I want to invite you to our studio. In our studio, we have fitness classes. We have them in the morning, we have them in the evening. We also have events. We just had a workshop this past weekend all about consistency. Our next workshop is the first Saturday of the first Saturday of October. Not only do we have events, but I also do my coaching there. We do one-on-one coaching and we do group coaching. So if you're interested in anything that we do, just text the number on the bottom, which is 732-656-8973, and you can get information about all the wonderful things that we're doing. Protein is today's topic. And if you're curious, like how much protein should I eat? What is protein? Where do I get it from? I want to invite you to our community. The meeting tonight is at 7:30. And if you're interested, just text that number there and put community. And in these meetings, we have people share their highs, they share their lows. We have a segment focused just on nutrition. And tonight we're going to be talking about protein because as women, we need so much protein. Well, not so much, but we need at least your body weight is really like zero point 0.5 of your body weight. But I say start slow depending on where you are, right? So if you come to this meeting tonight, you're going to get all the goodies. And we will not probably, I can also give you a little cheat sheet to help you figure out how much protein you want to get in your system. With that being said, before I get out of here, I want to share one more thing with you guys. I know you're like, she's giving me so many things, but this weekend was so phenomenal because I'm getting ready for Q4. At the end of our consistency workshop, we did a vision board reset. We spoke about Steve Harvey's video, The 300 List. And if you've never seen that, I want to invite you to get on YouTube after you subscribe to my channel and click in Steve Harvey 300 List. And he shares the importance of writing your vision and making it clear. Habakkuk 2:2. I think that's the verse. Write your vision and make it clear. So you have to write out exactly what you want. And that's what we did at the end of the event. So we are all prepped for Q4. And one of the things that I am most excited about, most inspired to do is my next book. Whew, I can't believe I'm even saying this. So this is going to be book number 4. And it is an anthology. An anthology is one book with various authors. And it's inspired by all of my books are inspired by my first book. That is wild. This came from my first book. This anthology is coming from my first book. And it's going to be one book with different stories from different people. Each person will share a trauma or a tragedy that occurred in their life and how they overcame it. They're going to show us how they turn their pain into a purpose, their mess into a message. They're going to tell us from a mountaintop how they overcame certain things. I'm so excited about these stories because they're things that a lot of people are embarrassed to talk about. They don't like to talk about child abuse or domestic violence, or I'm going to keep some of the topics here. But I'm sharing this because we have a few more spots left open. The book will be debuting December 6th. And if you have a story and you've overcome it, it's like, yeah, I did this, and you're proud of it, and you want to share that story, text that number right there, anthology or book, or, we'll contact you either way. But we have a couple more spots, and I'm very excited for this book that we're going to be doing. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun. With that being said, this is day 15 of 30 Days of Elevation. If this is your first time, do me a favor, put first time hearing this, right? If you're watching this in the replays, right? Replays. I want to know when you're watching this. If you've learned anything from this, share. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, bring it through, because this week it's all about nutrition. We're talking health and wellness with your mindset, your vision, your everything. All right, crew. I'm so excited to be here today. I cannot wait to be back tomorrow. I was on a hiatus from social media for a whole week. and it did me good. I didn't even put it back on my phone. Maybe I won't. I don't think, but that's where I post. I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try not try. I'm not gonna put it back on my phone. I will post from my iPad. That's gonna be a new thing for me. I think that'll help me with my boundaries, right? I love that for me. All right, girl. I'm out of here talking to you right now from this mountaintop. Fueling your body. Fueling your body is so important. And we have this thing, and I'm going to say our girl Jessica created it. And the new thing is for everyone to know, did you get your Elevate 360 on? And what exactly does that mean? I didn't get all of my Elevate 360 on yet. Elevate 360, did you get your spirituality on? That's the first thing. Spirituality. Second, exercise. And third, your mindset work. And when I say mindset work, I mean reading, listening to motivational videos, something that's going to motivate you. Those are the three things when we say to you, did you get your 360 on? Alrighty. So those are so important to me. That's something I do every day. But we got to put a time limit on everything, right? I was thinking of saying 8 o'clock, but that might be too early for some people. But it's going to be 9 o'clock. So every day, I'm going to challenge you to get your 360 on at 9 a.m. every single day. What does that mean? That means you're going to do something in regards to your faith, whether you're praying, whether you're reading your Bible, whether you're meditating, I don't care. But I want you to pause and pray. That's the first thing. The second thing, exercise. And if you don't like exercising, just move your body, dance, stretch, I don't care. And the third thing, pour something into your mind that's going to elevate your mindset. All righty, crew. Thank you for coming through. Fuel your body. Peace. Bottle of hair grease. Hey, see you.